That evening, the sound of voices led Margaret downstairs and into the sitting room. She assumed that Delia and Charles were discussing politics again. They seemed to enjoy bantering about the issues surrounding Ireland. "Come in, come in." Delia patted the upholstered stool next to her. "Would you care for a glass of Madeira?" She waved her hand at Charles to pour Margaret a drink. "No, thank you." Margaret moved toward the stool, but then stopped. The man facing the window possessed dark, curly hair and was about the same height and weight as Michael. The sun was just beginning to give way to the darkness outside, and it was possible that her eyes could be deceiving her. "Have you met our famous rebel, Michael Davitt?" Delia smiled, motioning him over to Margaret. Michael turned toward Margaret. He stroked his mustache, hiding his grin, then winked and gave her a slight bow. "Good evening, Mrs. Sullivan. It is a pleasure to see you again." "Oh, I see you have already met." Delia arched her eyebrows, and her smile dropped to a line. "We met on the ship coming over." Margaret nodded politely. "I interviewed Mr. Davitt for a project I'm working on." "Shall we continue?" Charles took a draw on his cigar, then sat down in an overstuffed chair. Margaret couldn't understand why so many people admired Charles. She found him cold, self-possessed, almost British in his snobbery. "Michael was telling us about his idea to unite Ireland," said Delia. "It is one of the better plans I've heard, and I've listened to plenty in my day." Delia raised her glass toward Michael in salute.